Okay, we're just 1 week away from the Republican National Convention, 2 weeks away from the Democratic Convention, but this week could arguably be the bigger week for both candidates' platforms. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton could pick their running mates this week. It's getting real. Let's bring in Joe Lestingi. He's Democratic strategist, and Ned Ryun. He's a former speechwriter for President George W. Bush. Welcome to you both. Let me jump first to you, Joe. Hillary Clinton, who do you think she picks? I mean, we've got a lot of names swirling around here.
There are. It's almost a little abnormal. I feel like we have more names than we have had in the past with other presidents. But I think if I'm a betting man, Senator Kaine from the state of Virginia provides a lot of compliments to her platform. It provides some influence within a very key state. He was a very popular governor of that state, elected U.S. senator. The other names like Warren or the other governors that are out there.
There's Julian Castro, Liz Warren,
yes.
Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio. You've got Xavier Becerra. We've got Cory Booker from New Jersey. Tom Vilsack. I mean, there are a lot of names here.
Yeah, they provide interesting little niches that would supplement the ticket very well, but Castro in Texas isn't going to help too much with Texas. I mean, he would help with Hispanic voters, but Tim Kaine is also someone who's been very, very popular amongst Hispanic voters. So I think he's the leading contender right now, with everybody else sort of shuffling in there for second place.
And Ned, to Donald Trump, you hear names like Chris Christie, Newt Gingrich.
Right.
Am I missing anybody? You know, we had the Lieutenant General. Now Charlie Gasparino saying Scott Brown, maybe. Is that a long shot?
You mentioned all the names that have been thrown about. I think obviously Mike Pence is one of the names that's being thrown about that I think actually has a very good shot of being selected as Trump's vice presidential candidate. And I think it's a good pick. I mean, he's had a long-term, history inside the conservative movement. Used to run a conservative think tank. He was a radio show host. He's got great communication skills. Was in the U.S. House and, of course, now governor of Indiana. He's got some real political skills. And as Trump has said, he needs to bring somebody onto his ticket that has had political experience. At the same time, Pence offers really good connection with both the evangelical and social conservative communities as well, and he's just a great communicator, so I think he'd be a great addition to the ticket.
So you've got Trump meeting with Mike Pence in Westfield, Indiana. I think he's not meeting with he's campaigning with him on Tuesday, and Hillary Clinton with Tim Kaine on Thursday. So both of these gentlemen are going to get some oxygen here.
That's right.
Let's quickly throw in the sentiment of how they are really battling each other. Donald Trump came out earlier today and talked about veterans once again. Well, Hillary Clinton then brought in two congresspeople, and she's talking with congresspeople who are former vets and saying that Donald Trump is not going to be able to run this because he can't run his casino business. You know, it's almost like whatever she figures out he's going to talk about, she then tries to counter it. Is that playing offense or defense, Joe?
Well, it's a little bit of both, right? I mean, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. And what Donald Trump's perceived strength is his business acumen. And if you go right at their strength and force them to defend their strength, that does cause problems because that could be keeping the attack off of you, which is something, and I'll be honest, even as a Democratic consultant, she's had a couple rough weeks, but that doesn't mean that she can't repress on the attack, which she and her team have been doing, which is very smart. And I think that's shifting the debate with the RNC next week. It's just going to keep the focus on Trump instead of on her.
But, I think you make a valid point. I think the thing, though, that Trump has to do is keep hammering on what he thinks is Hillary's greatest weakness, which, of course, we saw highlighted this last week in regards to the emails and the private servers. And you saw a poll today that came out and showed almost 60% of Americans thought she should have been charged.
But Ned, can I ask you, though, you used to be a speechwriter for George W. Bush.
Presidential writer, right.
Right, presidential writer. Neither he nor his father will stand up for Donald Trump. Bob Dole won't. People who were the nominees and were president will not support Donald Trump. That's a problem, too, is it not?
It is a problem, and I think people are going to have to really make a decision post-Cleveland what they're going to actually do. Are they going to get behind Trump, or are they going to say, well, we're not going to get behind anybody and see what happens in the fall? At a certain point, you have to say, and I've been saying this for months, regardless of who the nominee is going to be, I'll be voting for that person. So I'll be voting for, it looks like, Donald Trump. I think people have to decide, do we want Trump in the White House or do we want Hillary Clinton? And people have been, saying, well, we never Trump. And my argument back to them has been, well, with Hillary, you get nothing. With Trump, you have a chance. And so you have a chance with judges. You have a chance with Obamacare. You have a chance against Common Core. You have a chance on a variety of fronts. You have a chance to actually get serious about ISIS. And so I think people are going to have to make a decision post-Cleveland. Are they going to do something and actually be meaningful, make a meaningful decision before the November elections?
Joe, you get 10 seconds to answer that, and then we got to go.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland's going to be fascinating. Ted Cruz speaking in prime time, yet not endorsing their candidate. Many people telling him no to the VP nod. Coming out of Cleveland, Ned's absolutely correct. Republicans have to make a decision. Are they going to back Trump, someone they can't stand, or back Hillary Clinton, someone else they can't stand, or maybe come back at Hillary in 4 years with a stronger candidate? The footprint at the convention will say if that can happen.
Let's leave it at that and not forget that Gary Johnson, the Libertarian candidate, is still out there. Hey, listen, good to see both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joe, Ned, it's a pleasure.